Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Trump wins again. The National Guard will be heading to Portland, Oregon as it sits today. Why? Because an appeals court actually ruled in a 2-1 favor that Donald Trump was acting within his Title X constitutional authorities by deploying the National Guard up to 200 service members to Portland in order to quell the violence. And Lord Almighty, has it been violent. As we sit in here and wait on people, I want to remind everybody of what these protesters are actually upset about.
Since January, the Department of Homeland Security has arrested over 480,000 criminal illegal aliens. 70% of those individuals have criminal charges against them or have been convicted of those criminal charges. Across the country, we're making communities safer so that families can thrive and they can prosper and they can enjoy the kind of freedom that this country was established to provide. Today marks 9 months since
480,000 illegal aliens arrested for deportation. 70%. Not 20, not 30, 70. The vast majority of those people that ended up getting arrested end up having violent criminal records. Imagine that they're all being thrown in jail. And you're going to see some of them today. Don't you worry about it. You're going to see some of them today. James Powers coming to give tonight Speak the Truth membership. Tristan Allen, what is up, Matt? 2 years with the Speak the Truth fam. I got good news today. I'm going to be a father. No freaking way, dude. Congrats, Tristan. Oh, that makes me happy. I've been saying your name for that long. Makes me smile deep, deep inside. Holy cow, man. Welcome to the... Oh, good luck to you. That's all I got to say. Good luck to you, buddy. Attorney General Pam Bondi today, the Ninth Circuit found that POTUS has the right to deploy the National Guard to Portland, Oregon, where local leaders have failed to keep their citizens safe. It's not a joke. You're going to see why here in just a minute. This follows hard work by Justice Department attorneys and helps reaffirm a simple truth. The president is the commander-in-chief. We will continue fighting and winning it in a court to defend the president's agenda. Pam coming in. Pam in Wonderland. Pam's just in Wonderland, I guess. I'm so sad that all of those idiots protested against King Charles. I'm expected the parliament to dissolve any second. Oh, Pam. Dude, I haven't even touched on the UK. UK's got even bigger issues than the United States of America. We're about to see the ramifications. I do believe that the United States falls just a couple years behind all of the madness that takes place over inside of the UK. So it's definitely something I'm keeping a close eye on. Now, I want to show you guys this video from, I believe, Saturday evening outside of the Portland ICE facility, brought to you by none other than Nick Sorter. Now, because we all know it's just mass chaos, I wanted to point out those bubbles that were just floating around the scene a couple minutes ago. They blow those bubbles so that they can determine which direction the smoke's blowing. You see all those bubbles that are flowing through the air? Like, they do little innocent things like that to prep everybody else for what's to come. Piper says Portland welcomes you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Piper K-Fly. Appreciate that. Yeah, well, Portland, not everybody in Portland was happy to see my pretty face there. A lot of them were actually very, very upset to see me out there. Narcan, yeah, Portland better get a lot of Narcan because they're going to need it here in the near future. But look at this freaking madness that's up on the screen. People literally chucking CS right back into there. This is how chaotic it is. That is literally right outside of the main gate. The reason all of this goes down is because those officers that are working there to process those how many thousands of freaking illegals that they continue to arrest, the reason they're doing that is like those feds come out just so they can open the gate and have shift change. What you're seeing here, this siege on this facility with all of this crap going on, is literally because officers are coming and going from the facility. This crap happens every single night, every single time the police go to leave that facility. This is what's on the ground. And the Portland Police Bureau, who we're about to dig into here in just a second, is failing to do their job. As a matter of fact, they're doing quite the opposite. You're going to see why in just a second. I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you because I actually want you guys to vote on what you actually think the cops did in these different situations. Yes, that situation is pretty wild within itself, just right there. Here's another video that I don't even think I saw until just today. This one comes from, who is it? It's Haley. I actually let her run the channel one day when we were out there in the street, but I want you to take a look at this video as well of what's going on out there. Again, this madness, all of that crap is caused every single time they try to come or leave through the facility. They have to open the gate. They have to put federal officers on the street. Protesters don't like it. It's not even fair to call them protests. The anarchists don't like it. They freaking, like, all of this crap goes down because of it. Now, where those people are standing, where that big slew of smoke's at, I always get this backwards, where that big slew of smoke's at, right down there in the corner where that fire's at, man, I have stood down there before as the cops come out, lawfully on the street, not doing a dang thing. Excuse me, not on the street, on the sidewalk. Literally stood there on the sidewalk, the cops come out. If you are listening, they just ask you to step back. If you don't listen, then tear gas and pepper balls and all of that other crap end up flying like it's nobody's business. This has been going on for months. Months. Oh, my goodness. Delaware 502 coming in gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. So the question is, how much federal taxpayer money has been spent because these freaking meth addicts that live in the apartment across the street that just choose to camp out on the sidewalk and host a bunch of other homeless people and crazy people burning the American flag, how much longer do we have to put up with that crap? How much longer do our tax dollars have to go to waste because it's not a peaceful protest? They are not doing it within the confines of the law. They sure are breaking a ton of laws, and the law enforcement officers that are there in the street, they're not doing a dang thing about it. This is the original appeal paperwork that got filed with the court on October 20th. All right. This was the United States filing their appeal that ended up making its way back up in order to make it happen. I just flashed on the screen. So if you guys want to pause it and go back and read it, that's just fine and dandy. Here is the important part of it, though. This is actually what is allowing the National Guard to go in there. This was the ruling and the decision on the stay of allowing the, how do I want to say this, of allowing the blah, 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 the National Guard to make their way in there. Section 12406 contains no such limitations. Instead, by its plain text, requires only a determination that the president is unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. The statute delegates the authority to make that determination to the president and does not limit the facts and circumstances that the president may consider in doing so. Indeed, the inherently subjective nature of this evaluation demonstrates that the president has the authority. What the ruling came out to be today was based on section 12406, and that is the president's authority to call upon the National Guard under Title 10. And under that, deploying them in the United States of America in order to quell violence, to stop all of that crap, all falls underneath there. I've gone over a lot on this freaking channel. Either way, it's the president's authority in order to do so, and it doesn't limit the information that he can and can't take in. It doesn't say that he's got to take, if he feels that under his regular, how do I want to say this, under his regular authorities and powers that be that he's able to have, those Fed troops they sent out there, if he tries to do everything within his nature and he can't take care of it, guess what? Then he gets to call in the National Guard, and that is exactly what they ruled. So that single judge that ended up putting up the stay in this thing, making its way up to the freaking court, that judge needs looked at like it's nobody's business. Somebody needs to dig into their butt because they clearly ignored the law. This lays it out very, very clear. The statute delegates the authority to make that determination to the president and does not limit the facts and circumstances that the president may consider in doing so. Flat out, it is the president's authority to send in the National Guard in order to quell the violence, and that is exactly what is taking place. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The president can take care of it, and nobody gets to deal with it. They went on further to say it was an error for 2 reasons. For one, under Newsom, we consider whether the facts provide a collateral basis to support the conclusion that whatever. Do you guys even care? No. I mean, you probably don't. Legally speaking, the president acted within his lawful authority, and there's no getting around it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, if you don't think that that's the case and you think the Portland police is doing their job, I'm going to present to you this, and then I'm going to point to you the facts of what actually got done. Now, this is in a relatively calm time out in front of the ICE facility. And you know it's a calm time because it's daylight. Now, I'm going to show this video to you, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments section who you think deserves to get arrested. I'm going to play it. I want you guys to watch very, very carefully. I'm actually going to turn you guys into law enforcement. You guys tell me, who do you think deserves to get arrested in this video?
Don't fucking touch me. You fucking touch me. It is on video. It is on video. You fucking touch me, you're gonna get punched again. You fucking touch me, you're gonna get punched again. You touch me, you're gonna get punched again.
This is America, ladies and gentlemen. This is what law enforcement officers have to deal with. To me, it's pretty dang cut and dry. I'm going to show it again, and then I'm going to point out a couple things, and then I'm going to ask you whether or not you feel person number one, who we're going to call the person in the red dress, or person number two, the person in the blue jeans and black sweater. Which one do you feel should be arrested? I no joke. I want to know your opinion on this because I'm about to show you the actual results.
Don't fucking touch me. You fucking touch me. It is on video. It is on video. You fucking touch me, you're gonna get punched again. You fucking touch me, you're gonna get punched again. You touch me, you're gonna get punched again.
You're a scared coward.
All right. Who do you think it should be? You just saw it for a second time. You know, vote. I put it over in the chat, you guys. You can vote. I literally want you to vote on this. I want you guys to vote before I end up showing you the end results of what this is going to be. Person number one, who's in the red dress, or person number two, wearing the black sweatshirt. Who do you think deserves to go to jail? Let's start reading over some super chats real quick. Honey Badger, 7156, coming in, gifting I Speak the Truth membership. Troy's Review says, so I'm watching from Australia. Is it true that the ICE facilities across the U.S. process immigrants who are doing it the right way to become a U.S. citizen? Also, awesome work, Matt. Thanks. Yes, that's absolutely true. People that are attempting to become U.S. citizens the right way. Example that I like to give is if two people, like let's say a U.S. citizen marries somebody from a foreign country, and they come to the United States of America, that person, their now husband and or wife, they have to go to in-person interviews over at these different ICE facilities in order to get the paperwork processed. They actually have to show that they are a husband and wife in order to get all of like the paperwork processed and to make sure that everything's legal and it's above board and everything else. Yeah, 100%. That's what needs to happen. They do those things. Let's see here. Tom Bones says, I prefer not to see the guard deployed, but if local PD can't or won't enforce the laws, then what other choice do we have? Oh, Tom, you and me are in agreement that I don't want to see the National Guard get deployed as well. Not enough options in the poll. Oh, buddy. No. That's a pretty clear-cut case, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Don Booze says, we have far too many activist judges on the bench whose partisan politics bleed into the rulings far too often. Fun Bo says, I agree with the National Guard stance, Matt, but if police won't do their job, what choice is left? Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. The National Police aren't doing their job. Have you seen JD Lea's interview with the former Antifa member? No, I have not. I talked to him about it the other day, though, but I should probably go watch it. Piper, Portland welcomes you. Appreciate that. All right, not enough options in the poll. All right, well, here, let's break this video down real quick, because when this video first starts, I want to point something out to you. The person in the red dress is blasting that megaphone right in that woman's freaking face. Now, you might not believe it, but that can be assault because that sucker is so loud it can cause damage to the eardrums. So let's start there. And by the way, that's just not me thinking it. You're also about to hear from Portland police enforcing that law in a completely and totally different manner when they so choose. Then, the shaking of crap continues. Ringing the bell. Now, I can pull up a video from the other day of somebody ringing a bell, and Santa's just walking around ringing a freaking bell, doing his dang thing, and people are getting in their faces. This type of crap takes place on the streets over there all the freaking time. Now, I pause on this frame for a reason. Right there, you see lady in the black sweatshirt ends up putting her hands on red dress thing. When she does so, that's when she ends up getting punched in the face. Now, make no mistake about it. I don't even want to go there. This right here, before we get into it, as we look at the legalities of it, right? That lady, the thing in the red dress there decided to take a step towards the individual. Now, you have a right to what's called personal space. You don't have to let people get that close to you. Lady in the black sweatshirt didn't punch her in the face. She didn't do anything crazy. She got her own distance. And she's allowed to do that because the person with the megaphone is assaulting her with noise, believe it or not, because it can blow out the eardrums. And then that results in a punch to the face. Not a very good one, just a punch to the face. Now, let's take a look at the results of the poll before we get into the actual results of it. Let's take a look here. Poll says 75% of you believe the person in the red dress out of the 487 of you that came in and voted. Almost 80% of you think that should happen. Well, I went over to Portland Police's, how do I want to say this? I don't know. Protest, news publishing, briefing, crap. I'm trying to remember what the bulletin. There we go. It says on Saturday, October 18th, the Portland Police monitored activity on the ground, and it labels the arrest. Now, first one that they put, Michelle P. Bax, 46, of Portland, was arrested for assault in the 4th degree. Michelle Bax is the person in the red dress, to my knowledge, allegedly. That is Michelle Bax. Stacy A. Pritchard, 32, of Portland, was arrested for, get this, harassment and biased crime in the 2nd degree. Allegedly, because she called the person in the red dress a man and was shaking the bell. That was, and by the way, harassment can also be pushing. So now they're claiming that the pushing back was harassment and a biased crime. Can't make this crap up. Essentially a hate crime. Clearly it's a transgender individual. And Stacy used the birth sex of the person, got charged with a biased crime in the 2nd degree. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Right. Because that person was blasting a megaphone and got too close. Harassment. And then Michelle P. Bax of Portland gets charged with assault. Yes. Because she used the wrong pronouns. Allegedly, that's why she was charged that way. You can't make this crap up. Now, if you don't think that's, well, first, now I want to point something else out to you here. This guy right here, pretty sure I met him when I was out on the streets in Portland. He is a far right guy. Really nice dude. But notice how the Portland Police Bulletin has him on there, cuffed. And then let's go down just a little bit further. And right below that, notice how Portland police are being so nice to somebody that is very likely one of the protesters wearing a clown costume. Probably got gassed. Probably got hit with pepper spray for breaking the law or something like that. I want you to take a look at that. Like, aside from the bias charge she got slapped with, I want you to take a look at this police bulletin very, very close. Because it is 100% virtue signaling. Here you have a pro-Trump guy being arrested, thrown in the back of a car. And here you have the Portland police coddling one of the people that has been breaking the law literally on the streets. Allegedly breaking the law, standing in the middle of the street, stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know this individual or whether or not they were doing that, so I'll just use that. But they definitely look like they associate with that crowd. Between man in the freaking furry costume and the clown costume, I can only assume that they're on the protester side. And they're being coddled by the police. Now, we're going to take it a step further because they're recruiting. Same bulletin, ladies and gentlemen, all the information coming off. Those officers to do that job are making between $84,000 and $124,000 a year. $124,000 a year. You cannot make those numbers up. But we'll take it a step further because it has another link. When I say I dug into them, boy, oh boy, did I. They want to make sure that you know. Give it a sec. Come on, load. Public order information, the Portland Police Liaison Officers, and what their role is, which is going to segue us nicely into the next portion of the show. We work to prevent violence and damage to public and private property. No, they don't. We ensure everybody can peacefully assemble and express their free speech. No, you don't. Because what they are doing is not peaceful assembly, it's literally violent. They like to say that they commit to ensuring public safety. No, they don't. If they were committing to public safety, they wouldn't allow those intersections to be shut down by protesters and cars to go barreling through the center of those protests that are standing in the middle of the street. Not a snowball's chance in hell all of that would be going down. Now, remember how I said that blasting that megaphone and stuff can cause a bit of a problem? Here's the Portland police warning Tommy Boy out there for his megaphone noise and how it could be considered illegal.
Big loud train horn.
Oh, why?
So that thing is really loud.
I know it gets
And
their
I'm-
attention.
I'm trying to keep you out of trouble, so I just want to make sure issue a warning. I got my body camera on, it's recording. So if you go up to somebody and you're using
Oh, I'm
that
not
train-
going.
hear you. I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah.
If you go up to somebody and you use that train horn like in their face,
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
it could cause hearing damage.
I wouldn't do that.
And we may have to like
Arrest
do an
me.
assault
Yeah,
investigation.
No way. No way. If you put a megaphone in someone's face, it could cause hearing damage. And every single night, that's all those freaking nut jobs out there are doing is blasting megaphones in people's ears. They did it to me. They did it to everybody else. But they're walking up to Tommy and they're going to warn Tommy. They're warning Tommy about it. Now that's like, I guarantee you the megaphone that thing had in the other video is quite a bit louder than Tommy's. Tommy's is kind of small. That megaphone that trans person had, freaking amazing. So loud, it's not even funny. I'm pretty sure she was even controlling it with like a little button. So when I'm talking about Trump sending in the National Guard because the police quite literally don't do their job, this is exactly what the heck I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That is literally a double standard that has been taking place over there for freaking months. Months. If Nick's arrest wasn't enough, I don't know what else to tell you. If that flyer that I showed you wasn't enough, I don't know what to tell you. Let's continue on because they're about to bring something else up that I have personally heard residents from that apartment complex behind them screaming at the protesters down below. It's captured on one of my streams. Screaming at those violent protesters down below to shut up because their 3 or 4-year-old kid needs to get sleep in the morning because they're blasting megaphones on the street. Literally complaining. Residents stop complaining to the cops about noise ordinance because they don't do anything. But hold on, because Tommy.
I'm not doing that.
That's a result of that. Okay,
Yeah.
the train horn's really loud.
Yeah, I do it by-
The other thing about that, the city of Portland does have a noise ordinance that goes in effect after 10 p.m.
I don't do it after 10. You guys
so
already know.
after 10, we can't be doing that at all.
Yep.
And
Oh crap. After 10, Tommy can't use his bullhorn. What-oh? Tommy can't use his bullhorn after 10. They're warning Tommy. Does everybody now see the double standard? I said the National Guard doesn't need to go in there if Portland police can do their job. What I've discovered is that the Portland Police Bureau is enforcing the law in a very systematic way. A very, very systematic way. And that systematic way that they're enforcing the law is going after people on the right. And if you don't believe that, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'll go right back to their own flyer and I'll point out to you just the optics of this and what whoever this public information officer is trying to present, where you have somebody on the right that got arrested and people on the left that are being coddled by the Portland Police Department. Does everybody see that? I hope you guys see exactly what I'm pointing out to you. They are literally coddling the left. Literally coddling the left. Even in their flyers, they're enforcing the law in a discriminate manner against people on the right, even citing noise ordinance. Even citing noise ordinance against Tommy, reminding him that his loud bullhorn could be considered assault because you could hurt somebody's ear. And Trans Tifa has been out there doing it the entire time. And who is it that they're actually out there protesting against? Who are they upset by? Well, they're upset because ICE is arresting people like I'm about to show you. This man is a freaking child sex offender being taken off the street. Right here.
Everybody good? I got property bags right in the car too.
Don't send him off yet. Give me legs real quick.
Oh, the horror. Somebody call Trans Tifa and get him out there immediately. The police are arresting child sex offenders. God forbid. God forbid ICE is taking these people and kicking them out of the dang country where they don't belong because they're here illegally. And even if they're on visas, guess what? Guess what? They got to go. Antifa loons hit with first terror charges for ICE attack. Part of cell armed with 50 guns, according to the feds. 50 guns. The ones that got indicted the other day, and you read over the paperwork, they not only shot a law enforcement officer in Texas on July 4th, but they shouted for them to go and get more guns. When I was on the streets in Portland, multiple people were flashing guns. Multiple people were flashing guns, and the police did quite literally nothing. Except for one night, they issued a ticket in a felony menacing case. But they downgraded it because his realistic firearm was only a BB gun. Because the felony menacing law, well, it's not written like that. The Primetime Ray says, I interviewed liberals at a No Kings protest. Some good conversations, but some name called me and one pushed me. I posted it on my channel. Go figure. They are violent. And they've been violent. And that's why the National Guard needs to get their butts in there. That's exactly why they need to get their butts in there. You guys want to hear some actual violent rhetoric coming out from the No Kings protests?
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot.
Yep. Better grab a gun. Better turn around a gun on the fascist system because the ICE agents need to get shot. Now, you might say, well, Matt, that statement wasn't made in Portland. You might say that it was made somewhere else. What I'm about to present to you is evidence that they just don't do this in one city and that they are very well coordinated all around the country. Old Man Weiss says, so we are letting terrorists run the streets. Yes, essentially what they're doing. Now, I want to finish playing this video so don't get accused of tasting it out of context.
And wiped out.
All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out. The more you f*** around, the more you're going to find out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fail to mention that got shared today by the Department of Homeland Security? They said during the Chicago No Kings rally this previous weekend, violent rioters called for the cold-blooded murder of ICE agents. This writer and his statements have been referred to the DOJ. There is no place in America for psychotic incitements of unlawful violence against ICE or CBP. Those who threaten violence against us will hunt you down. We will find you and justice will be served. Now, I'll tell you what I absolutely heard and some of the stuff that I ended up sharing yesterday. They're threatening to Charlie Kirk people such as myself that are out there. They're threatening to Charlie Kirk the ICE agents. They're telling them to jump off the roofs of the buildings. They're doing all sorts of incitement out there. And again, it's just one tiny step and footprint away. And these things, as they continue on, are going to turn violent. Here's 1%ers that ended up showing up to Chicago. And it is a matter of time before this happens inside good old P-Town over in Portland.
It was that guy right there.
Does this look familiar? Does this remind anybody of 2020 over in Portland? You guys remember stuff like that going down all around the country, as a matter of fact, not just in Chicago or Portland or New York, but literally all around the country we had this crap happening. And all of these liberal cities where they refuse to actually enforce the law. And you have people show up because they get so pissed off because the law is not actually being enforced. And here in this circumstance, in this case, that is exactly what happened. Robert Lewin. The Insurrection Act allows for political persons contributing to the obstruction to be arrested. Now is the time. You are 100% correct, sir. It is the time, and they do need to start doing it, and they need to start doing it more often. Now, told you that there is evidence that this is taking place not just in one location, but they are very well coordinated. They're doing this all around the country. And I wasn't kidding when I said that they are literally doing this and they're coordinating all around the country. I submit to you piece of evidence number one.
I traveled the country. I went to Florida. I went to Missouri. I've been to Indiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Washington, Portland. And I'm here to spread anti-fascism because America was never fascist and it never will be. Not as long as any anti-fascist lives.
Okay. Who do you consider to be a fascist in your eyes?
Well, currently, the whole Trump administration may not be entirely fascist at this point, but they're quickly going towards authoritarianism and totalitarianism. But that's all. That's the only comment that I'm going to be giving. I'm going to keep. I traveled the country.
This guy literally spotted him leading the march over in Dallas the other day. Literally spotted him leading the march. He's got his pistol on him. He's got his knife hanging off his hip. Great. And then he's got his cute little shoulder pads on because he couldn't fill a t-shirt out to save his life. What nobody has told him is that those little Kevlar arm pads, actual people in the military hate those things and they consider them worthless. I'm surprised this guy isn't wearing his groin protector or a freaking Kevlar diaper while he's out there on the street. That's how ridiculous that guy is. He's traveled all around the country to all of these different protest sites. And a couple of weeks ago, I shared another video with you guys over from the Portland ICE facility that had a guy who got arrested that was crying after he got arrested. He was all big and bad and tough on the streets, but when they got him there, he was sitting back, cowering, just crying his freaking eyeballs out. You guys remember that dude? Yeah, well, guess what? He actually was arrested, if I remember correctly, down inside California as well. Now, you want to talk about real evidence that there's massive organization behind this? You're about to see it. This is coming from Nate Friedman. Old Man White says, what the F is the state police doing? Following orders from the governor? Question mark. Very good question. I want you guys to listen to this. I want you guys to listen to this video that I'm about to put up on the screen.
Guys, I think this is maybe one of the...
What's that?
No, we're good.
No,
we're good.
but I don't know.
Oh no, I'm just press asking questions.
I think no. But no, it's
I think this is the guy.
I don't know.
Okay, so they had a full panic and just talked over each other. Now this woman did the scripted right-wing troll line, which I guess they must have forgotten to pick up their signs because that's exactly what they did to me last time. And before that, a different paid protester with the exact same sign followed me around the Take Down Tesla protest. So who are these people really? Keep watching.
I'm here to marshal and keep people safe. That's my job here today, and I'm just going to do my job.
What do you mean by like marshal? Like, what
We
does that
help
mean?
traffic. We help people with the traffic. We help cars redirect. We
that-
help bike messengers.
Okay.
We are helping people be safe on the streets.
Does that mean you guys are working with the NYPD?
Yes, we talk to them.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. That's interesting. But is there like a briefing before?
Oh, they talked to him. You know, as I was digging through Portland's website, like the Portland Police Bureau's website, looking at all their bulletins and stuff like that, I happened to come across one that talked about the No Kings protest. Remember how I told you that when Nick was charged, before he actually went to court, that they subpoenaed to have the communications between the Portland police and Antifa, and that's when everything ended up getting dropped? What if I told you that on the Portland Police's like websites and the press releases for the No Kings protest, it shows where they were coordinating with the protesters and shutting off roads and stuff like that for their safety? So in the case of the No Kings protest, as they're walking down the street, they've got no problem shutting down roads and everything else. Did they have a permit for it? Not that I'm aware of. No. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had to coordinate with them to move forward and shut down all those roads. But they don't do it outside the ICE facility. They allow civilians to just drive straight down there. They actually allow the protesters to shut traffic off onto that street. They allow them to shut traffic off going to local businesses, all sorts of things. Quite literally a lawless land. And it wasn't until the owner of the old spaghetti factory came out and complained to the Portland police that they told Antifa to go ahead and let business get through. Pretty sad. Now, there's something else I want you guys to see on this dude's vest. It says, Rise and Resist. Rise and Resist is one of those places that we are discovering funding from as we speak, and what that funding is going into, who's paying them, where it's coming. Some of it's coming from overseas, some of it's coming from here in the United States of America. But you'll also notice that all of these people, and I noticed it at the last No Kings protest, and I noticed it when I was over in Portland, and I'm noticing it these ones. Now, all of these people in the yellow vests are people that are very likely paid to be there. This lady is about to admit to it.
Or like that you guys work with the yeah. So how do they know that like you're out there marshaling with them?
They're not blind.
And neither am I. This is you calling ICE thugs, and with a $50,000 bounty on ICE agents, you have blood on your hands. This is you taking it a step further and calling them the Gestapo. Back again at a different protest, and again and again. The company she works for is Rise and Resist. They are one of the nonprofits receiving a portion of the $7.6 million from George Soros and were responsible for the takedown Tesla protests that often resulted in vandalism. They claim that all of their events are non-violent, which is odd because there's hundreds of pictures of their protesters getting arrested. One of the things they love to do is organize sit-ins at Trump Tower, and they're politely escorted out of the building and released from custody almost instantly, which means that the supposed king is quite forgiving with people trespassing his family's home. The donation link to Rise and Resist goes straight through Act Blue. Now it's really her associates that are the star players on the protesting field. Watch this. You see her? She works with Karen Shaw, the kazoo lady from the previous No Kings rally. This is her making the signs for Rise and Resist in their little print shop. Yes, I'm looking into this print shop. She protests whatever is on the schedule. Back again in front of the courthouse asking to abolish ICE, which is to take the sides of the vicious, violent criminals that have been deported by ICE. She wants to, quote, free them all, and she's doing this sit-in again inside of Trump's family home. The president is very aware of paid protesting now. Now I saved the best for last with this group because look at this guy here. Meet Casimir Yanish. He is a professional protester. Here he is with the infamous Karen Kazoo lady. You know how they frequently work in teams. Now, what is concerning about this guy in particular is not just that he is a professional protester, but that he is an election worker. His official start date was January 2020.
Yep. Election worker. Board of Election poll worker. Now, how free and fair do you think that election is with that guy as a poll worker?
According to his LinkedIn, he is a director of architecture and engineering at New York City. And according to governorsalaries.com, he's receiving an annual wage of $121,000. But the question is he protesting on the taxpayer's dime? Casimir took part in the famous paid protester group photo that I've exposed. See the Karen Kazoo lady here, and of course Stuart Waldman, who was on the board of Rise and Resist. Casimir had no social media that I could find, but here he is on his friend's Instagram, and he's clearly labeled in the caption. According to Casimir's LinkedIn, he is also a Columbia University alum, and here he is at an alumni event. Casimir has donated to a fund that was established to provide legal assistance and financial support to those who get arrested at protests. So he's spending his money wisely, and as a graduate of Columbia, I'm sure he's proud of what his alma mater is up to these days. Next up, I ran into a woman with a guillotine poster at the peaceful protest.
This dude has dug in so deep in their butts. It is beyond reasonable to me that they are all coordinating. I think you can easily prove it if you had the right time, the right software. It's just not my area of expertise, per se, of what I actually get into and dig into when it goes into people's butts. When men out here bust butt for $30,000 a year, he's making bank. Yeah, man, you definitely nailed that in the freaking chat. So yeah, somebody asked me if I'd open up the Discord chat a little bit earlier on. I'm more than okay with that. I'm willing to open up the Discord chat. I'm going to go in there right now. So if you guys want to chat with me, let's go to the Discord. Tomorrow night, I will do one over on X, and you guys will be able to go and you can take questions if you guys are over on X. But tonight, I want to do this one on our Discord, because tomorrow night, it might be completely and totally different. We might actually have, what do I want to say, National Guard troops on the ground. We might, because they have already been trained. Stage is already open. What? All right, well, put me up there, coach. Put me in, coach. Put me in. Let's turn that camera on. Let's make sure that you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me over on YouTube, make sure that you just give me a 5x in the chat. That way I know. Yoda God wants to come in here, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull you up to the stage right now. Would this be something the scammer Genders would look into? I don't know who they are, but I'm assuming they would. Bo, yeah, of course, Bo. You're more than welcome to the stage. What's going on there, Yoda?
What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you feeling?
Man, great news, man. Great news.
Tell me about it.
I'm gonna be a father.
Say what?
I'm gonna be a father.
You sound horrible, but I can't make out a single word.
Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
All right. Well, he's doing that. Bo, what's up, my friend, with your painful knees? Bo, it says you're muted. Maybe I muted you for some. I don't know. Here, Bo, what's up, man? Can you speak now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I got you, brother. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to hear from you again. Yeah, so I was, watching you out when you went to Portland there, and I saw then, you're kind of, saying we don't really need the guard out here.
No,
get the police to do their job.
Make the police do their job.
Like the very first time you went live, I saw you going directly to those liaison officers, and
you cut out, Bo. Now I can't hear. What's going on with your guys' mics tonight, man? Bo, are you there? Okay, you saw me going up to the liaison officers. Continue on.
Am I having a connection issue?
No, you're fine now. You had cut out though. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I saw you trying to basically get them to do their job, and I thought it was going to actually work there for a minute, but it just kind of petered out, and that's when I kind of shifted on my stance. I'm like, yeah, if they're not going to do what they're supposed to be doing, you're going to have to send the guard in.
Hey there, how you doing, Matt?
Give them just a sec. Yeah, if they're not going to do their job, then yeah, 100%. Like they need to send the guard in at least to control that situation. And I also believe that, I mean, number one, not just right in the immediate vicinity, like they need to provide peace all the way out around that apartment complex. Hopefully people are able to get some dang sleep at night. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be blown out of proportion. It doesn't need to be huge like everyone makes it out to be. The news will make it out to be. It just needs to be quick, get it done with, and then move on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, they can easily go in there. It's really not that big of a deal to send in 200 National Guard troops to control that area, and it's done. It's done. And allegedly, they've already been through all their training, and they're good to go. So, yeah, let them do it. Swamp Cleaner, what's up, bud?
Hey, how you doing, Matt? No, I just wanted to say that what you just showed is just the tip of the iceberg. The extent that these networks have infiltrated and have got their fingers into all levels of politics is just astounding. They've been doing this for the better part of 50 years now, 50, 60 years. So this is all ingrained. This is just them doing their normal machinations. This to them is an average day that ends in a Y. So people don't realize the uphill battle that we have when it comes to these people like this, that how they are willing to subvert and distract and become violent with their ideology. Yes, hello, kitty. Sorry, my cat's meowing at me. These people, to them, it's an average Sunday to use these tactics that they have refined and have been deploying in earnest for the past decade, to the point where a lot of people don't know what the actual reality is of everything, because they infiltrate through politics, they infiltrate to mainstream media, social media, and it is going to take a massive effort to try to undo the damage that's being done. And this ties into a lot of this this message that I want to say to people who are on the right, where a lot of right-wing detractors, where they say, "Oh no, well, we can't, do this to them because they'll get back into power, and what will happen to us if they get back into power?" They've already done this. They've already done this to Trump. They've done this to his lawyers. They've arrested his lawyers for simply representing him in court. So when they do the whole gun to the neck, like Charlie Kirk style, and point at you, they mean it.
Right, I'm well aware.
People need to gird their loins and understand that. Now, I'm not trying to go like Tim Pool Civil War and everything, but in all reality, I mean, besides deep civil strife, what else is there to come? Because these people have already entrenched themselves, ingrained themselves, and they're willing to, if they're willing to get violent with federal authorities, what are they willing to do to their average neighbor when they find out that they don't believe in the same thing they do? This reality that we are in right now needs to be accepted by the vast majority of people. Otherwise, we're going to get steamrolled and be forced into a totalitarian world where but as of right now, they project it on us like, oh, like Trump is like no kings, stop the fascists.
Yeah, that's not
Look in the mirror. These are the people who are actually the fascists.
Yeah, no, 100% they are. Like, make no mistake about it, they are. And I want to let everybody know, as I believe it was, who was it I just invited? Morgan Anthony. I just invited somebody else that reached out to me on X, said that they were shouting it out over on YouTube, that they actually got arrested for shoving that person in the clown costume, who was warned numerous times that they were too close and to get back, etc. So I'm hoping that they end up making their way over to the Discord and getting their butts in here for this chat. With that being said, Yoda, you were cutting out and you came back in. What you got, man?
It's Tristan, Matt.
What's up?
No, I said good news. I'm about to be a dad.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. That's freaking wild.
Congrats, brother.
About to be a dad, about to be a homeowner, all before I'm 30.
When's she due?
She's 6 weeks right now.
It's a long time.
So, yeah, we still got 7 months.
Well, you've got some time then.
We got about 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got some time, man. You'll be all right. You excited?
Dude, I've been ecstatic all day.
Good, man. That's good news, man. Congrats, man. I'm gonna move over to move over to Morgan. Morgan, what you got, friend?
Just as far as where these protests are, I've got kind of different opinion of with. Yeah, they're entrenched, but they've got a lot of useful idiots. And I've discussed with you before on the channel about Israel as a former service member that's retired and stay in contact with retirees. With the administration declaring them a domestic terrorist group, and them threatening to Charlie Kirk everybody, they've kind of made a really crucial mistake, because these useful idiots that are down there on the ground, I've watched, and yeah, there's coordination there, but if there was to be a pushback on them, they would break and run. Most of those people out there, I can tell, are just on board because it's the new fad. Just like the idiots that are running around Free Palestine, they don't really know, because most of them's never left this country. They
have no idea what they're talking
what
about.
Real violence is.
Yeah, they have zero idea what they're talking about. None. Zero. Quite literally.
And
zero.
You know, I mean, not to come off as threatening. I mean this in a defense way. But I take that shit personal. They threatened Charlie Kirk. That's them saying it to me.
Yeah, right. Well, they're going to do it to everybody if they can get away with it.
And
just to be clear,
I stay out of those areas. But like that lady that was overwhelmed by him, and they had those damn security guards in the white shirts.
They're not even. They're not even security guards at this point. Like, I wouldn't even say that they're.
But I'm saying you stop a vehicle like that with me in it.
Right.
I would have got out with a 12 gauge and cleared that street and drove off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but hitting the gas,
lurking in the shadows.
No, they don't, and it's coming. I promise you, and that's half the reason why the feds need to get it under control. Half the reason the feds need to get it under control is to make sure that doesn't go down.
So that's what I briefly wanted to ask you on your opinion. So the feds ain't in there. Portland's declared a failed state. Isn't it upon the citizens to clear out terrorists?
Yes.
So there's not much of a punishment. You threaten to Charlie Kirk me, or you take 20 people and surround my vehicle, I'm going to just level you all, and hey, Your Honor, they're terrorists.
Well, right. I mean, they legitimately are, and they have committed violence.
Yeah, and it was a 20-to-1 situation. I did what I had to do to eliminate a threat.
But what if you run into an activist judge?
That's half the problem. Is who's gonna investigate and who's gonna charge you?
Well, you know,
you can get away with that in Florida.
You get away with it in a lot of places. It's just they need to be crucial of what they're saying, because they're saying it to people that are out there in the media when there's 500 people behind them that they're also saying it to, that they're not realizing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like,
so I want to ask the chat real quick, guys, if the gentleman that said that he got arrested, if he's in here yet. I don't know if you are. If I invite you up, but I definitely want to hear from you, because that's kind of important. So I'm literally just throwing.
I'm right here, man.
Okay. I want to talk to you. What happened? And are you talking about that clown person I just showed on that flyer that was sitting next to the fence?
Yes. So what happened is I got there around 5 o'clock, 5:10, whatever. I was standing on the macadam side of the driveway. Right next to where that little tiny retainer wall is.
Okay.
So, and there was a couple of other people with me. One of the guys there was a witness for me. He was wearing a highlighter orange jacket. Don't know if anyone saw him, but I told the person, because they started getting in my face with a cowbell inside their inflatable, that they need to back up or I will force them to move and push them away.
Because they're getting it how close were they to you?
As close as your hand is to your face right now.
Okay, so it's funny. because I specifically asked those liaison officers about those situations down there. And yeah, you're allowed to get them out of your face physically.
So the guy that was wearing the orange sweater, eventually, like within 30 seconds after they got that close, grabbed them by like the upside down clown leg by their head and dragged them away. So kudos on him.
Okay, so you have a guy in your
but-
face, somebody else comes over and grabs them, pulls them by their little inflatable and gets them out of your face.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
About 5 minutes later, the person in the inflatable came back, got in my face again, and I don't know who's inside it. They're wearing a gas mask, so I don't know if it's a guy, girl, whatever they want to be called. I don't know if they have any weapons on them. So my like thinking is it's an unknown threat with unknown weapons. I need to remove them from my immediate vicinity. And that's when I shoved them with both hands. They fell from the sidewalk into the road and scraped their arm. And after I did that, I walked straight over to the bike officers on that little concrete island by the
by Macadam.
And just waited right there for them to make a decision, and went to booking for basically dinner time, and then they let me loose.
Okay, wait a minute. So you told them that this person was in your face, and you told that individual to get out numerous times, and in order to clear your personal space because you were in fear for your personal safety, after giving a million warnings, they arrested you.
Yes. The way I see it is that they went through with the arrest partly because I went over there and basically turned myself in.
That's not turning yourself in. That's alerting the authorities. That's not turning yourself in.
Well, I understand that, but at the same time, I also made it where it was a safer situation if they did have to arrest me instead of staying in the crowd.
What? No. The safer situation is the police actually enforcing the law and doing their job and arresting those people for harassment and inciting violence.
Fucking give them a Band-Aid and kiss their boo-boo.
And dude, they did more than that, man. They did more than that. They literally put this on the frickin' flyer. Arresting right-wingers and taking care of Trantifa. They literally put it on their flyer. And what they charge you with? Harassment?
So
Did they charge you with
gave me,
harassment or assault?
Harassment B, which is a misdemeanor, and assault 4.
Wow.
He actually got arrested.
Please tell me you're fighting that.
Oh yeah, so the same law firm that's helping Nick right now, I contacted them because the main person in that law firm is a former Marine, so he's very experienced in situations like this. That's the main reason I contacted them. But I might just have to get a public defender in the meantime until they get back to me.
See, I see this as the arrest that just happened to you is, to the cops, it's easier to arrest the single person or the like one or two people who are on the opposing side as opposed to the mob, because
But
that's
he didn't
easier
break
for
the
us.
law. You arrest people when they break the law. He didn't break the law.
Exactly.
Well,
But
that's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna
To
tell
them,
you.
it's about
tomorrow
a
if I get a-
de-escalation, and they take the path of least resistance, even though it's wrong and it should be investigated. This is the tilt that we have to deal with in the police departments, where, well, you're causing the disturbance because there's a group of people who are angry with you, so we're going to remove you from the situation, whether or not it violates your rights, whether or not it's wrong or not, but they just do it anyway.
Yeah. What you need to do is sue after these charges get acquitted. You need to sue the crap out of the city of Portland.
Absolutely.
Well, no, the first thing I'm doing is as soon as I see the most likely public defender, because I haven't heard anything back from Angus Lee Law Firm after I talked to them this morning. I'm going to tell them that, like, per Oregon state code and everything, like everything I did was like cut and dry self-defense.
Yes, correct.
And instead of them, like, because I was you've been down there. There's the blue line, and then there's like a little plant area. I was right on the edge of the dirt. So if I would have got pushed back, I would have got pepper.
You could have got arrested or pepper sprayed by the feds.
Yeah. So I prioritized, honestly, getting a misdemeanor over a federal trespassing.
But you shouldn't
do you
have.
know if any of this is on film?
Probably.
I'm trying to get in touch with some people like BC Preacher and some other people, but I have not been able to contact many of them.
Just shoot me the details because I know pretty much everybody down there with a camera on a daily basis. So shoot me the details and I will just put them in a mass chat and just be like, I need this footage. And we're going to add you to the stack of
right now then.
Yeah.
Dude,
just,
I don't know who was fucking. That's a lawsuit and a half. Wrongful arrest.
Well, it's not even that. If the city police aren't doing their job properly, the state police should be stepping in. That should be derelict of duty on both.
the state police got to get sent in by the governor.
and state police.
The governor would have to send them in there.
All sides.
Correct.
Exactly. The governor would have to send them in.
And that only, I saw that one time. The only time they did that was when Christian was down there. State Patrol could go down there.
Does State Patrol have jurisdiction over the whole state?
No.
Yes
Over the
and no.
Yeah, right.
It depends on what's going on.
They could, technically State Patrol could go down there. Technically, if they're assigned to that area, right? Like you're not going to have a statey drive from across the state and arrest somebody and then drive all the way back. Good luck trying to make that make sense. But if they're assigned to that area and they can pull anybody over on any of those roadways, they can enforce ORS along those public highways. And that includes that road right in front of that ICE facility.
Matt, we even know if they were to,
they're not doing it.
if state were to arrest these lefties, they're just going to get away with it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, number one, you have to have
police should have to control public.
you have to have enough of them. You have to have enough.
Right, though. The governor can hamstring the state police real quick.
Yeah, the only way a lot of this stuff will get rectified is if you bring down the godly righteousness of like lawsuits and muck everything up legally for these people to give them a headache, because this is what the left does. They'll file off lawsuits, they'll like hamstring people, they'll put departments into investigation discovery for months, years on end, and this is a tool that the right never utilizes because we believe in the virtue of law. The left subverts it.
We're also very, very much more forgiving than most other points of view on the left.
Look, this is a very
to an end with a lot of people I talk to. And that's what's scary is a lot of people I'm talking to with the recent events with Charlie Kirk and the threats that's coming out. It would come down to that. I don't think that a lot of you realize what a lot of us retired Gen X soldiers that were good at our job are sitting around waiting to it's not going to be good.
Matt, did you get my DM on Discord?
Send it to me over on X, man. My Discord is out of control. Send me the details over on X, please. Discord is a nightmare for me right now. I really got to get that under control.
That's like Matt, you're talking about all the Charlie Kirk and stuff. There was a teacher that was, I think it was Boston, that got fired because she was reported doing the gun to the neck and telling somebody that she was going to Charlie Kirk them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A teacher, a kindergarten teacher, telling somebody that she's going to Charlie Kirk them.
Wasn't there one in Washington that just got?
And she should have lost her job for that. I'm sorry. I don't care what side you're on. If you're saying you're going to kill somebody, I don't want you around my kid at that kindergarten age. I don't care what side you're on.
The left uses the same tactics. The left in this country uses the same tactic as the Islamists do in Gaza. They teach the kids young to go after their enemies, and you need to do, and they turn you into the enemy from the very get-go, and it's so hard to stop that indoctrination.
Yeah, and there's another video I saw today.
Not really, though.
So,
'cause I was over in the Middle East. I spent a lot of time militarily in the Middle East, and yeah, there's elements of it here. Don't get me wrong, but what you're seeing at these protests, these are either spoiled or somehow broken kids that are cosplaying to the latest cause.
Mm-hmm.
They're different than radicalized, and that makes them in a lot of ways more dangerous.
All right, guys.
In a lot of ways, that makes them more dangerous.
I am 1000% with everybody in here right now. Hold on, please. Listen, gentlemen. Hey, thank you. Hey, I gotta close it down. I've got a message that just came in. I gotta close this down. What are you guys, just round the board, 30 seconds or less, final thoughts? We're gonna start all the way up top. Bo, go.
Hey, so basically, when this stuff happens in Georgia, it happens in Texas. You're going to see together National Guardsmen, possibly, very least State Patrol, county, and local. Governors on board. Everybody's on the same page. When you don't have that, you have Portland, and so whether it's corruption, whether it's just people not doing their jobs, until it gets fixed, it is what we're seeing right now, and that's what it's going to be. And,
exactly.
There's my 30 seconds. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, of course, man. Chirac, what's up? Go.
Yo, I wanted to, bring attention to, at what point does the Portland police, when are they going to get sued? Who does it fall upon? Is it the city of Portland? Is it the state of Oregon? Who is liable? Because the state police should also be there. And then, getting rid of the police officers in Portland, you also need to replace them. So as a police officer, I wanted to ask you, how do you even go about doing that? Does the state police take a larger role in positioning themselves in Portland, et cetera? So that's, all I really wanted to get across.
Yeah, I mean, number one, it would be completely and totally unprecedented. The only time I saw a police department get completely replaced was over inside of Ukraine. However, the logical way about doing it is with the county sheriff and also other municipalities that surround it by having them come in under the mutual aid agreements after the police department gets wiped out and actually taking over responsibility. A lot of those officers would end up having to pull overtime. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to suck. But essentially doing that and hiring on a brand new staff from the chief all of the way down. Also, the city council needs to get looked at, and likely the governor as well from the state also needs to get looked at, because all of those people, and the mayor, all of those people are affecting the policies that are taking place down there inside that city. And I think in that case, you're looking at a federal lawsuit, not the state, but like an actual federal lawsuit for civil rights violations. Swamp Cleaner, what's up?
Civil rights violations lawsuits already started with Nick.
Yeah, they're going. Swamp, what's up?
The status quo of the last 50, 60 years needs to be broken. This whole business as usual needs to come to an end, where people think, oh, the law is not being applied to them. It is now authoritarianism when it's actually being applied correctly. It needs to be corrected, because if not, this lawlessness will continue, and the divide in this country will get deeper, and we will actually enter into a deeper civil strife than we already are.
Yeah. Yep. Tristan.
In my opinion,
can't say kill them all.
It's gonna come to the point, and that's where I agree with the guy who's the military vet, the guy that's done time in the Middle East. Gen X military vets aren't gonna put up with this shit much longer.
No.
Not at fucking all. Excuse my language. And this is what I'm saying. I'm telling you, the Proud Boys and them clubs, they're gonna start busting heads.
Mm-hmm. I'm well aware. It's gonna happen. And that's honestly why it's even more important for the feds to get in there, because that is coming. Like, make no mistake about it. That is coming. Morgan, what's up, buddy?
So my last thoughts on it was, yes, I uncomfortable as it's going to be, the military needs to go in. It needs to be declared a failed state. The local leadership has failed. Get the military in there, completely gut these sanctuary cities and well, anywhere Antifa is now that they're a terrorist organization. Gut them completely, because you don't want their threats to the public. You woke us up. Now you don't want us getting out of bed, basically.
Yep. Yeah, I think the whole place needs gutted, and I think those federal suits need to take place.
Yes.
Yep. Dodo.
I was going to say, for anybody that wants to continue talking, I'm going to go over into the VC after this. If we want to continue talking.
Sounds good.
The lounge chat. One more thing, Matt. These people that what they need to do in Portland, they need to raid that fucking storage unit place.
Oh yeah.
And then they need to raid that dude's house where everybody is going to.
Yeah.
Chandler's house, you mean?
I think it's pretty easy. Like, I think that they could easily, with the amount of footage that's out there, with suspects that are fleeing, charge the individual that's housing them as an accessory, easily, and tie the same storage.
Accidentally launched tear gas canister in the house.
Well, I wouldn't want them to do that because it's an apartment complex and it's going to get sucked in the ventilation, and everybody's got to breathe in enough of that crap as it is right now. But I want to see, personally, them do that and investigate those. And those are the types of regular run-of-the-mill, that's not something a detective that needs to do. That's regular police work that can be done. And why people aren't doing that is beyond me. It just ticks me off to no extent. And Old Man Weiss, what you got?
Well, that's what I've been saying. I don't understand. Doesn't the state police have an obligation to correct the city PD if they're not doing their duties?
Obligation is a pretty strong word. To correct, also a pretty strong word. When you have corrupt police departments, it is the job of the DA's office and everybody to be looking into that and fixing that. When that fails, it's actually, to my understanding, the job of the FBI to actually solve that problem, not the state police.
Governor tells the state police what to do. Remember that.
Yeah,
it's
correct.
A tiered level of obligation. The city's failed in their obligation at the minimum of like keeping the streets clean. All right.
Well, it usually goes what? City, sheriff.
It goes city, state, then federal government, and the city and state have failed worse than I failed English in everything.
Right. There's no getting around it, man. It's time for the feds to step up and do their job. Like, that's it.
And everyone's bitching and whining that Trump's doing his literal job we hired him to do.
It's not even a job we hired him to do. It's literally enforcing the laws on the books in the United States of America. That's all.
Yeah.
If you don't like the law, your job is not to protest. I mean, you can protest if you don't like the law, but to have a riot and to literally impede federal officers from doing their job.
And one more question for you, Matt. These people that are actually identifying themselves as Antifa, wearing patches, flying the flag, why aren't they being arrested?
For the same reason people identify themselves as members of Hamas and people flying the Taliban flag and everything else aren't arrested in the United States, because we're scared of the left. That's why.
Breakup instructions go 1960 style.
The left is crazy here.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys for jumping in here. Like I said, I was short on time about 10 minutes ago, so I want to thank you guys for jumping in here up over to the chat. Thank you guys for participating. Appreciate it. I know it was like a little short, quick fire off, but trying to get as much done as humanly possible. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. I'm going to go close out good old YouTubes.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Matt.
Good night, Matt. Hey, going to the VC for anybody that wants to go over there and talk.
Cabby.
Dear gosh. Computer is running slow today, man. It's time to get that sucker fixed. All right, I also got super chats I got to go through and talk to you guys because y'all been going off on it. Matt, Nick is talking about. All right, I don't know if I can, man. Contact the authorities on that one. Troy reviews. Can they get the video from the Fed building? It is possible. that they're able to get that. But how they're going to go about doing that is beyond me. North Sachs, if somebody impedes your route of traffic, can you run them down if you fear for your life? If a reasonable person would fear for their life, the answer would be yes. Theoretically speaking, under the law, because your car in that case ends up becoming a weapon. So, I mean, basically you would have to justify shooting yourself, shooting somebody for like you just being in that position. So think of it that way. Robert Lewin says, how can we join your Discord? You've got to be a true supporter. Links are posted weekly over to our YouTube channel, and you got to be a true supporter in order to see it. STRC would be something if the scammer grinds would look into. I have no idea what that even means, man. Old Man Weiss, so we have police letting people violate constitutional right. When does this become dereliction of duty? About, I don't know, a couple of years ago, probably over there in Portland. Prime Time Ray. People wearing those vests follow me and my buddy. Yep, I was followed quite a bit while I was out there, believe it or not. People in vest and out of vest. Robert Lewin says, it is illegal to direct traffic without flagger certification in Oregon. Also, how to become a member of your Discord. Member of the Discord. We already talked about that. Elijah Snow, plenty of paid mercenaries. Yeah, no freaking kidding. No kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me for another great episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. Thank you guys very much. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, happiness, and God bless. I'm out of here.